The title of this video is clickbait. I'm not quitting YouTube. I am, however, drastically changing how I'm going to be doing YouTube going forward, at least compared to the last 3 years. So if you're curious about what those changes are, or just the back end of being a streamer slash YouTuber, then this video is for you. To give some context on what those changes are, I first have to go back 3 years ago to when I blew up a car. That marked the switch from me being a full-time Twitch streamer to becoming a full-time YouTube streamer, because I signed a contract from YouTube to make that happen. And the question a lot of people ask me now, after 3 years, was it worth it? Was it worth being a YouTube streamer for that time? Was it only worth it because of the money I received? Would I have maybe made more money if I stayed on Twitch the whole time? What am I going to do now? Those are all what I'm answering in this video. Now, to be clear, being a YouTube streamer is not the same as being like a kick streamer or back in the day, being a mixer streamer. It's not like you go to YouTube to die. There's many YouTube streamers who thrive, like all the Japanese VTubers, iShowSpeed, many other examples. And me personally, I had some of my greatest streams here on YouTube, like Mogul Money Live or Mogul Chess Boxing. Like, I hit my peak viewership ever here on YouTube. World's Greatest Gamer, Unpaid Intern. There's a big list of streams that I'm very proud of that I did exclusively on YouTube. But I have a lot of problems with YouTube. Specifically, how I feel like you have to stream on YouTube versus how you have to stream on Twitch. Now, it's no secret, you guys have had a lot of complaints over the years about how hard it is to find a YouTube live stream. Most people end up finding live streams by either looking up the name of the person they want to watch or seeing like the red live circle around their name if they're watching some of their other content. And the reason is because YouTube streams, like YouTube videos, are recommended through the algorithm. So your live stream needs to perform well enough to be pushed through the algorithm and accepted, clicked by end users on the algorithm, as opposed to just naturally getting viewers by proxy of being live. So Twitch streamers are incentivized to stream longer hours to build up more viewers over a longer period of time, and YouTube streamers are incentivized for high burst, high action short streams that build up big peak viewership and will get a lot of views on the VOD after the stream has already ended. This is a good example of someone who streams well on YouTube, and I saw this reflect personally on my own streams. Here's a chart of one of my most successful live streams on YouTube that wasn't related to an event. It was called 1 hour to beat the game, or I cry for real. Part of the reason this stream works so well on YouTube is because there's a timer, because people's average view duration increases the closer my timer gets to 1 hour, meaning it gets recommended to more people because the algorithm's like, oh, people really like this stream. They're watching it for longer than normal, although ultimately it mostly is just a gimmick. In fact, you can see I employed this tactic a lot because it's one of the things that worked while streaming over on YouTube. The other type of stream that works really well on YouTube are super short, high density streams, maybe filled with a lot of drama, like the update to Logan Paul drama, where the viewership drops off dramatically after the information that I have in my head that people are waiting for me to say exits my mouth. And the moment it does, they're gone. They're gone to other YouTube videos on the website that are very appealing to watch. YouTube's like a convenience store with a revolving door. People are constantly going in and out, but they're not staying for a long time. Twitch, it's like a Barnes & Noble. When people show up, they're fucking parking their chair down. There's no revolving door there. Once you show up there, you might sit there for 8, 12 hours. You don't give a fuck what's going on half the time. It can be third, fourth, fifth monitor content. Twitch viewers are gonna stick around. And so the strategy for Twitch is a lot different. It can be explained simply by the phrase marathon streams. This is a 48-hour segment of a 100-hour live stream I did where I played League of Legends with Connor. You can see the viewership is insane. And the peaks only get higher after every single night. Reason being, there's just more viewers that build up over time. People don't close out the streams like they do on YouTube. Again, think of the Barnes & Noble. I just got more people chilling in my store. Some people fell asleep. I don't give a shit. It's all the same to me. As long as people are in my store, I'm happy. I have had one big problem with Twitch. Too many subscriptions. I was subscribed to over 30 different streamers. That costs $6 per person. Some of the streamers I don't even like Squeaks, and I was subscribed to him for a year. And I wouldn't have found out unless it was for the sponsor of today's video, Rocket Money. If you don't know, Rocket Money is an all-in-one finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower your bills, and also manage your money better. And thanks to Rocket Money, I'm literally saving hundreds of dollars a year because I canceled a bunch of subscriptions I didn't even know I was paying for. It also helps me set budgets so that Aiden doesn't yell at me as much. So to save more and spend less, go to rocketmoney.com/Ludwig. That's rocketmoney.com/Ludwig. You can get started for absolutely free, or just click the link at the top of the description. Thank you, Rocket Money, for sponsoring this video, and now back to it. And if we're gonna talk about my absolute #1 biggest problem with YouTube, it's that if you stream longer than 12 hours, the VOD is no longer accessible. This is my best YouTube live stream in terms of views all time. 4 million unique viewers tuned into this live stream over the course of 102 hours. And we haven't got a single extra viewer since the stream ended, as opposed to Twitch. And you can also see exactly how much money this video made. It has no ability to make a cent more. I basically did the same exact stream, 100 hours straight of streaming, but I played League of Legends over on Twitch, and this is how much money the stream made. You can see it makes a lot more money on Twitch. So I had a question after 3 years of streaming on YouTube: do you make more money as a streamer on YouTube or Twitch? I've compiled all the data over the past 5 years of streaming, both on YouTube and Twitch, to figure out where I was a bigger streamer and where you make more money. Now, I'm not saying this to flex. I promise I am not. I have lost millions of dollars by basically getting scammed. You can look that up if you'd like to. It is just to be transparent about the differences between the two platforms. Now, in this video, I'm not going to talk about where the money necessarily comes from. It is generally known that on Twitch, you're getting more money from like subs, prime subs, gifted subs, things like that. And on YouTube, you're getting money from ads oftentimes after the stream has already ended. And Charlie has a really good video that explains this, but I'm not going to go into this. I'm just going into my own personal numbers. So let's take a look at my years over on twitch.tv, where the last 2 years, I went from 11,000 average viewers in 2020 and 2021, where I had 28,000 average viewers. Now, it is worth noting 2021 as a whole, there's a little bit of an asterisk on it because that's also the year of the subathon. So the numbers are skewed higher, right? I have probably higher average viewers, higher watch time, higher revenue than I normally would have because that 1 month was so insane. And the past 3 years on YouTube, well, it's basically a slow climb down. The first year was actually quite good in 2022. I had pretty high average viewership. I had my best peak viewership ever, but the numbers slowly went down as the years went on. And the number I'm most concerned about here is actually hours streamed, because I vividly remember the feeling of not knowing what to stream on YouTube because I wouldn't know what would work. As opposed to Twitch, you kind of just go live. It doesn't matter. You can just go live. You'll naturally build up viewers over the course of like an hour. You'll hit your peak viewer like 90 minutes to 2 hours in. It never felt like that on YouTube. It felt like if I didn't hook people in the first 15 minutes and I didn't increase their average viewer duration, this stream was never going to get promoted and it was just going to do poorly overall, which would make me feel bad. And you can see I went from streaming 2,000 hours to streaming 860, less than half in the course of 1 year. And I never came close to the streaming hours I did even in 2020, ignoring the subathon, over any of those 3 years on YouTube. But as far as the revenue, let's take a look. This is the first 2 years on Twitch. Year 1, I made over $1 million on just live streaming revenue. And year 2, over $2 million. Now, again, worth noting, basically $1.3 million is just from the subathon alone. So it's more safe to say that I would make a little over $1 million from being a live streamer with this metrics. Now, for comparison, this is my first year on YouTube. And bear in mind, these are pretty good metrics that I had on YouTube, but I made half as much money. Now, to be clear, this is totally ignoring the additional sum of money YouTube gave me to be an exclusive live streamer. It's just the revenue I made from live streams. So we're talking members and ad revenue from the live streams. Now, interestingly enough, even though these numbers go down, the revenue number actually goes up year 2 and up again in year 3. And I think this can be mostly attributed to the fact that I am getting passive revenue from the live streams that I've made over year 1 and year 2 that add up. All right. So if I did a live stream in 2022 that still gets views in 2024, I'm getting paid for it. And in 2022, I had no live streams. There was no backlog. So I'm building up a backlog that even if I never streamed another minute on YouTube, I would still make, some amount of money in 2025, 2026, and so on. So I saw this data and I made the conclusion that I would make more money and I would probably get more viewers over time if I were to full-time stream on Twitch and leave YouTube streaming altogether. And so initially, that's what I did, which didn't exactly go over well. At first, I thought people were just complaining for the sake of complaining. I know there's some advantages to YouTube streaming over Twitch streaming. Namely, if I'm watching Tim the Tap Man, who does multi-streaming really well, you can just easily rewind his VOD on YouTube like a normal YouTube player. And on Twitch, you have to clip a moment if you want to rewind it. If you missed a full hour, it's kind of hard to 2x speed and catch up. There's no real way to do it. Even the VOD, which is usually available almost in sync with the stream, is 5 minutes delayed. there's a lot of problems with the Twitch player. But I thought I was higher and mightier than the people who were criticizing me because, again, I had all this data. The data points to me being a Twitch streamer not only earns me higher revenue, but gets me more average viewers. More people get to see my live stream content. Until, however, one thing changed my mind: VODs. You see, VODs are an incredibly difficult thing to upkeep because if I live stream on Twitch and I have a bunch of copyrighted stuff, it will maybe make the VOD unavailable or unmonetized. And I'm not even going to make money from that live stream if I upload it to YouTube. So it would delay the live streams. And if I start live streaming a lot because I have a League of Legends challenge and I'm absolutely addicted to the game, well, then those live streams are going to show up late, or worse, out of order. Like I hit plat coming before clawing back into gold, which isn't the actual order of those live streams. In fact, the problem has become so bad that the market has created its own solution through fan channels. There were literally other random people in the world who would make fan channels and they would upload my content faster than I could on YouTube, right? Like I lived the content, I streamed it over on Twitch, but it wasn't available for people who don't watch Twitch, don't have the time to watch Twitch, don't care to watch Twitch. Maybe they only have a lunch break and they could watch 20 minutes. They would watch these fan channels like PGL Ludwig, okay? Ludwig Clips, all right? Dubbin. These fan channels are crushing over the past couple of months because I'm not doing a good job on my end of making that content available. And so that has forced me to make a switch. And after having 2 weeks of data, I think it's working. The switch is to actually start multi-streaming. I know, you were right all along. I was wrong. My plan is to stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, although I will disable YouTube chat because I just prefer to focus on one chat as opposed to two different, somewhat fractured communities. I don't have a lot of data to go off of, but I've done it for 2 weeks in the month of January, and the multi-streaming is actually going really well. I've averaged more viewers on YouTube than I have on YouTube in the previous 3 years, and that's not even counting the additional 7,000 people that are also watching on YouTube. The peak viewership's looking good. The total hours streamed is way higher so far than it was the previous 3 years. So I think I'm going to end up streaming more this year than I ever have before. As far as the revenue goes, for the first 2 weeks of the year, it's also pretty good. Like, I'm happy with those numbers. I even threw down some predictions for how I think the rest of 2025 goes, and if I'm even close on any of these, it's a huge win in my book. So yes, I am leaving YouTube to mainly stream on Twitch. I like not having to schedule my streams so I'm not late every day. I like the Twitch chat, and I like getting Twitch Prime. So I am going to be mainly streaming on Twitch, but every single stream, barring some marathon streams that I literally can't do on YouTube, will also be multi-streamed on this channel right here. And you can see I'm already doing it. The VODs will be instantly available, even if there's something copywritten like the stream I did yesterday where I listened to every single country's national anthem, which, trust me, every single country has copyrighted that video. Those VODs will be available instantly. As far as the VOD channel, I'm gonna change it a bit. I'm not going to upload every single VOD on the VOD channel. If you wanna watch a VOD, go to the live tab on this channel. The VOD channel is just going to be for maybe small pieces of a live stream, like when I react to jet lag, or when I talk about some stupid Minecraft drama that I have somehow been looped in. And Ludwig is going to continue to upload edited little bits of my live streams that I wouldn't normally upload onto my main channel. My main channel is gonna stay my main channel. I'm uploading all the dumb shit that I think is funny, like accidentally beating League of Legends or playing some game that none of you want to play, but you're forcing me to play, like Get to Work. So that's a plan. I'm going to try multi-streaming in 2025. Is it foolproof? Will I change something along the way? Maybe. Am I gonna 100% guaranteed not change anything about what I'm doing? No, I can't promise that, but I do think it's the best course of action based off the info I have now. And if anything changes, of course, I'll let you guys know. And I am live literally right now. So if you happen to have a Twitch Prime and you don't mind using it on your old pal Ludwig, well, I wouldn't mind either. Anyway, thank you anyone who watched my YouTube live streams over the past 3 years. Thank you to anyone who followed me over. And thank you to anyone who also didn't follow me over and yelled at me in my subreddit. You were right, and sorry it took me a little bit to get there. And I hope you guys all have a good 2025. I'm hoping to hit my goals this year, baby. Not getting scammed for sure.